Alright. What is it this time? Broken bone? Tetanus? Well, actually, a bottle up the ass? Come on, I don't have all day. Hiro lets out a raspy cough, grabbing her attention. I had a feeling this might happen. Come in. So you're his doctor then? Another eye roll. Not on paper, rodent. I am Dr. Petranola de Lange. Petra, if you must shorten it. Marsupial. Welcome in, Bio. Glad to have you here. It's nice to meet you, miss. You will call me Doctor. Well, this woman's cold as ice. Regardless, could you strapping young men make yourselves useful and carry him into my examination room? How are you doing today, Bio? She turns and walks back inside before either of us could answer. This is a mild reaction for her. Atri, what do you make of this, Doctor? He grunts inquisitively as he lifts Hiro up by the feet again. Certainly no profession for frail women, but frail she is not. I'm good, and I already hate this woman. Already? She does have a bit of a attitude, I will say. Glad to hear you're doing good, though. We carry Hiro inside and groan. Nothing but a set of stairs greeting us. Alright, remember to breathe. Here we go. What kind of clinic makes sick patients walk upstairs? I can feel my back start to ache already. I really don't want to become this woman's patient as well. We reach the top and carefully maneuver Hiro over to an examination table surrounded by wooden trays. The room itself is designed by all manner of plants and flowers, or besieged. A particularly long spider plant curls down onto a desk, which itself is covered in scattered documents. She sits at another desk, sipping coffee. The lad needs your attention, Doctor. She glances our way and finishes her coffee, sighing in satisfaction. She seems to contemplate something before shaking her head and grabbing a pair of surgical gloves out of a bag. All right, good work. Now let's take a look at the damage he's done. Why are you so certain it was his fault? She rolls her chair in our direction, almost running over my tail. Yeah, she's got an attitude, definitely. Do you think this is the first time Sudu rodent? I really don't like her. Sorry, it was an emergency. She nods, pouting at him in a mocking way. And now this elective surgery has turned into an emergency as well. This will sting. Ooh. She dips a cotton ball into a jar and without hesitation presses it directly onto his wounds. Ah! Ah! He starts squirming and Petra motions for Atri to hold him down. Hey! Better to get the hard part over with. I need to eliminate any chance of infection before repairing these stitches. She glances at our ruddy clothes and dirty fur. What did you do? Drag him here? With an open wound, no less? It's a long story. I see. I doubt it would change the urgency of this situation anyway. Hiro settles down and she grabs a pair of scissors off a nearby table. I'm going to start removing the bandages. Do you want these two here during the procedure? He looks around, beads of sweat rolling down his face. No. I want to be alone. It's alright. We'll be right downstairs, okay? Come on, Atri. Aye. Good luck, little one. I wave goodbye and solemnly head down to the foyer. Atri follows behind, quieter than usual. He'll be okay, right? I can only pray. For now I must return home. I take it you'll be staying in the town for a while, yes? It's not like I have anywhere else to go at the moment, so I nod. If I see you around, is it okay to talk some more? Of course, you're quite the inquisitive fellow, Gray. Well, I'll be seeing you. God be with you. And also with you. Damn it, there I go again. He departs, leaving me alone with my thoughts. None of this makes any sense. That much I've come to terms with. Everything about this place has felt off since I arrived here. Even basic things like architecture or cars look just different enough to give me pause. If I'm really to believe that Todd fellow, he magically granted me the power to understand other languages. He did say I needed to make any progress here. That must mean I'm not in America anymore. Virgil, he sent me to the Golden Place, so it's not impossible that he could place me anywhere he wants. That voice asked me to pick, and I followed Hero because... I linger on that thought as his muffled screams echo from upstairs. He just makes me want to protect him. I know that's stupid. He's both stronger and smarter than I am. He's managed to keep his position as an engineer in a foreign land, even though the company couldn't care less about him. Even knowing that, the idea that I could be someone he relies on is comforting and a little intoxicating. Like that moment from earlier. God, I hope he forgives me. It's like something reached inside of me to flip a switch, sending me into heat well out of season. Only if he lets you, Gray. Only when he lets you. When he? No, if. Lord, I've never felt this way about someone so quickly. He didn't remember the Golden Place, but still feels positively about me. Even without those memories, he's the only one keeping me grounded. So I need to be strong for him, no matter what. The clock on the wall shows an hour has passed. The sounds of pain have diminished, and I cautiously venture upstairs to peek my head in. Hero is asleep, fresh bandages on his torso. He seems alright, so I breathe a sigh of relief. A little too loudly. Oof. Well, aren't you a nosy one? Eep! She stands behind me, frowning. A bloodied smock laid over her dress. Was it a success? Of course. 'Twas only a repair job, in the end. I can't help but detect a difference in her accent, even if everyone is speaking English to my ears. Are you not... She blinks a few times before replying in a monotone voice. German? No. I hail from Holland. I see. I'm sure you have your questions, but if you're to stay in this town, let me give you some good advice. She leans in, her glowing feline eyes staring into my soul. Everyone who lives here has their secrets. A past, something to work for. I wouldn't go about prying into their personal lives if you want to keep your hide. That goes for Yasuhiro as well. Understood? I nod, too intimidated to argue. Grand. The evening is upon us, so be a dear and head to the kitchen. You'll be helping Miss Klein in preparing our supper. What? Me? I need to sanitize my instruments and keep an eye on Hero's condition until he wakes. But I can't cook. You're still young. You'll learn. Be off with you then. And with that, she pushes past me and slams the door to her office in my face. What a bitch. Alright. Then time to embarrass myself in front of the help. That could have gone worse. I guess German standards are higher than Etton's for how small something needs to be for it to be diced. Miss Klein was understanding and picked a simple potato and leek soup for us to make. Miraculously, I avoid losing any fingers. Soon the scrumptious scent starts to fill up the house and awakens my appetite. Don't make me get the spoon again, Mr. Gray. I shove my hands in my pockets and lurk impatiently in the hallway, my tummy rumbling something fierce. Why is everyone so mean around here? Well, Autry was nice. Dumb, but nice. Come to think of it, why is he living here if he doesn't work for the company? Or Petra, for that matter. What did I say about asking questions, mongrel? Son of a bit. I whip around to see her staring down at me from the upstairs landing. She sure loves to stare down at people. Guess it comes with being tall. Oh, it's you. Dinner will be ready soon. Splendid. I thought you would like to know that Hero's awake and doing all right, all things considered. That's great. Now this type of surgery typically takes around 4 to 6 weeks to heal, so he's not headed back to that blasted ship anytime soon. How long has it been since the initial procedure? She growls at me. What? That's basic information. Fine. It had only been 3.5 weeks. I see. So how long do you think he'll need to fully recover? She sighs, taking a drag from a cigarette before replying in a low voice. For the procedure, to avoid the patient exhausting, I created an alternate blood supply using the arteries in their arms. Huh? In layman's terms, I connected veins from his bicep to his chest so he wouldn't go into shock. I'm sure you've noticed his diminutive size. Yes. But even with that precaution, he still lost quite a bit of blood. It'd have taken his body just as long to replenish those blood cells as it would for the wound to heal completely. So what you're saying is, he's going to be anemic until he fully heals. Precisely. Thus, even the small amount he lost today was enough for him to almost lose consciousness. That's not good. I feel even more guilty for almost abandoning him now. I'm so transfixed by our conversation that I didn't realize she had been getting closer with each word. Gray, was it? Yes. Hero is special. He's very proud. I'm sure you noticed that as well. I nod. I need you to keep him in check. This is already highly experimental surgery, and I have no idea how it will heal. Even more so now that it's been reopened. You don't have to tell me twice, Doc. I'm here for him. Aw. A genuine look of concern flashes through her gem-like eyes before refocusing into their usual pointed shape. Are you prepared to stay with him, as he is, for as long as he'll live? Whoa, are you a priest? What are you, a priest? She shushes me, nervously checking the stairs as if someone was listening in on us. Right. Forgive me. For the time being, keep my words in mind. He's highly likely to try and sneak out come morning. Got it. I'll keep an eye on him. I hear someone in the kitchen ring the dinner bell, and my empty stomach twitches in pain. I'll bring him some food. Do you mind if we, She smirks, walking past me and towards the front door. If it's privacy you want, your wish is granted. Just keep my mention of his procedure to you a secret. Confidentiality is a must in my line of work. Right. Welcome in, Psycho. Glad to have you here. How you doing, buddy? With a nod, she steps out. At least she seems to care about Hero, despite her coldness. I grab our food, almost burning myself in my haste. Miss Klein scolds me as I jog up the stairs, but I can hardly hear her over my own excitement. Finally, it's Hero time. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, Psycho. Hey, how are you? I burst into the examination room only to find the table unoccupied. I'm upstairs, second door to the right. Right, big ears. Coming. I race up the second flight of stairs, Miss Klein poking her head out of the scullery to scold me yet again. Why do I feel like a kid right now? Guess it's been a while since I've been in a proper house, as practically made as it was. I tuck a burning hot bowl under my arm so I can quickly churn the knob, almost dropping it in the process. I catch it just in time, though a fat glob of it lands on my shoe. Hero giggles at me, sitting up in his cot. Did you plan that routine just to cheer me up? No. Why? Did it work? Maybe. I'm just happy to see you again. I smile. His traditional pajamas look comfy, contrasted by the tightly wound-fresh bandages. He noticed my stares and shakes his head, smiling warmly. It doesn't hurt anymore. Just no tight hugs. All right? I'll do my best. That's not an easy task, but Petra would kill me if I undid all her hard work for a third time. Come and sit. Let's eat. I plop down next to him and we dig in. I was a little heavy-handed with the salt, but otherwise it came out great. Wow. My first successful dish, and I'm thousands of miles away from anyone I'd care to impress. Just my luck. Hero's enthusiastic slurping says otherwise, and I have to pull the bowl from his lips so he doesn't burn his throat. Take it you're a fan. It's salty and tastes like onion. What's not to like? Fair point. It reminds me of something my mother would make, only creamier. Yeah, there's heavy cream and butter in it. The cook had to pry it out of my hands. I never tasted butter so fresh. Ugh. What? I'm still not used to how much dairy Westerners consume on a daily basis. We didn't even have cows in my village. Really? Man, I can't imagine living without dairy. Milk, cheese, yogurt. It all tastes rancid to me. I'll make it my mission to find a dairy product you like. Well, the soup is a strong start. He flushes his food, licking the bowl clean. A nice pint of beer would have complemented this perfectly. Alas, Petra said it's still too soon for alcohol. You actually like beer? I can't get over how bitter the flavor is. It's not that different from green tea. We don't add sugar to our tea like the British. I think about the time I saw how many bags of sugar Gene adds to his kitchen's sweet tea and gulp. That would take some time getting used to for me as well. What I really miss is eating fresh fish, but I haven't had the time to try the lakes around here. Fishing? Really? That would be fun. I think back to the other three's comments on how they found him in the golden place, trying to fish with a spear. Yes, though I doubt there will be any adult salmon in a lake, so my heart will only be half in it. I never had salmon. Well, I tried gravlax once, but it was pretty gross. Whatever those Vikings do to perfectly good fresh is a tragedy. But this time of year, there should be plenty of carp migrating downstream. So if we take a hike to any nearby river, we should be able to catch a few. I'll ask around tomorrow and see if there's any equipment we can borrow. I feel myself getting hyped up like a kid at a sleepover. Maybe it's the vast openness of the German countryside, but I feel like the world is my oyster. Yes, and we should procure some camping equipment as well. It would be a shame to travel so far and have to leave just as quickly. I bet Autry'd know where we can find that. The excitement is contagious, and I spy his bushy-tailed wagon behind him. Yes, we'll need a tent, some mink oil to waterproof our shoes, some knives, and a fish descaler? You seem to know quite a lot about this stuff. Are you a hobbyist? He scoffs at me, pretending to fan himself. If that's what you want to call 8 years of living off the land in the countryside of rural Nagasaki, then yes. 8 years. Oh, it was a blast. There wasn't a thing in those waters I didn't try to eat. Wow, how did you? In fact, There was this one time I ate a 20-foot long river eel in one sitting and nearly died of cigarata ciguatera poisoning. I bet you didn't know, but the liver of an eel has enough toxins to kill a grown man twice my size if consumed raw. Wait, back up. Raw? You can't. Yes, you can. Sashimi made from fresh caught fish is some of the greatest pleasures a gourmand such as myself will ever experience. As a matter of fact, his ears perk up before lowering and quickly looks away. Sorry, I'm probably being annoying, right? When I get excited about something, it's hard to stop sometimes. Hey, it's okay. You don't have to talk about it anymore if you don't want to. I grab his shoulders, careful not to jostle his arms. Hero, after the day I've had and the people I've lost, there's nothing I'd like to do more than hear you talk about fish. His eyes glisten for a moment and he nods. Thanks. I guess I haven't had someone I can talk to so easily in a long time. I want to ask how he met Petra, but her warning from earlier stops me. Talking isn't easy, even if we can understand each other. I feel his body relax and he leans into me. You can say that again. Talking isn't easy, even if you... He rolls his eyes and starts assaulting me with his tiny fist. Okay. I'm not funny, I get it. He raises a fist again but stops, choosing to rub my snout instead. Thank you for being so nice to me. Most people would only worry about themselves in a situation like yours. Part of it is a little selfish, admittedly. Oh, I wanted to see you again. Oh, I know you don't remember everything, but I had to make a choice. And you chose me over the other men. I did. Come here. I lay down beside him, and he quickly nestles against me, pulling his huge tail between his legs and into a hug. The fur on the back of his neck tenses as I lay an arm around his side, careful to avoid his chest. Let me know if you're uncomfortable. Not so far. We stay in that position for who knows how long. Only the faint sounds of downstairs clock ticking away hints at any passage of time. I press my face into the crook of his neck and breathe out slowly, his thick fur plush and inviting. Nobody's ever... I'm here for you. I'm whatever you need me to be right now. Alright. Then tonight, you'll be my future camping buddy, who also happens to smell really good. Really? I've never been told that a day in my life. Is Hero really feeling okay? Yes, you just smell manly? I don't know how... Makes me jealous. You smell good, too. Just different. It's a hero smell. Nobody else has it. Yeah. It's just for you and me then. Just for... I feel myself start to drift off. Cuddling with Hero is better than any pillow or stuffed animal. That nice smell again. I feel myself stiffening up, but I'm not going to explore that avenue right now. Shit. Yeah, they're really cute together. All I know is, this feels nice. A noisy clicking in the hall cuts through my trance and I hear that familiar gravely voice. What is going on in here? I reply in a half yawn, refusing to budge or open my eyes, at risk of losing this feeling. Sleepy time. Yes, very sleep. I can see that. May I remind you that you're currently putting pressure on my patient's torso right after a surgical procedure? No, I'm not. I hear the floor creak under her creak. So you're not. Even so, you may shift in your sleep, so I advise the both of you to. Petra? She listens. Gray is part of healing process. He stay, okay? A resigned sigh. So be it. Don't come crying to me when those stitches pop in your sleep. Got it. I think I hear a chuckle before she leaves, gently closing the door behind her. Petra can be a nice lady. Just lonely. I was lonely too. I pull him in for a very gentle squeeze before committing to passing out. This futon with no support, this floor hard as rock, feels softer than any mattress, as long as Hero's between my arms. Now I thought I already warned you two. I don't ever want to catch either of you wandering near them woods behind house. I swear, I wasn't. Why shouldn't we? Because I said so, boy. I just wanted to know why it's dangerous. Always with that smart mouth. Ow! Stop it. We won't go, I promise. The both of us do. Yeah, nothing worth seeing. That's more like it. Your daddy always knows best. Remember that. Huh? Why am I seeing this? These aren't my memories. Sam. Charles. What did that man do for them to turn out the way they did? I'm stirred awake by a light flashing across my eyelids. A sliver of sun shines through a tiny slip in the curtains. I feel betrayed by whoever closed them last. My arms close around nothing and I slump forward with a gasp, confused as to where my cuddle buddy went. Hero? You up already? No reply. Well, guess it's time to get up then. I don't suppose a place like this has a guest bathroom, and I have some very important possum business to attend to. Creeping into the hallway, I go to check the clock. 11 a.m. Eh? Not my worst by far. I hear a creak above me and see the similar image of our resident doctor descending down the stairs. Ah, I see you finally managed to drag yourself out of bed. I reply with a groggy nod, waving at her. Where's Hero? Pardon? Ah, the patient. He's okay, right? She nods, rounding the corner and heading into the kitchen. I follow, my stomach already growling at the smell of butter. Indeed, it seems his body took to the new stitch as well. Phew. Even so, you're still on overactivity duty, got it? No unnecessary lifting. Got it. Oh. Where's the bathroom? The what? You know, a lavatory, a water closet, the facilities, the old shit shack. Ah. She points out the kitchen window to a shack in the center of town. If you wish to relieve yourself, that is the appropriate facility. She chuckles cruelly, producing a fabric fan from her sleeve. It is less than desirable, true, but even in Berlin, only the newest of buildings have plumbing. Wherever you came from, I suggest you lower those expectations tenfold during your stay in our town. I take it you don't have showers either. She again points outside. Petra. Doctor. Sorry. If you don't like it, take a note out of the simpleton's book and dig a hole in the dirt. Who? Oh, Autry? I need to talk to him anyway. Oh, and did you see where Hero went? She grabs a ginger biscuit off the table and takes her time, finishing the whole thing before answering. What am I, his keeper? By the way, could you put a kettle on, Miss Klein? The biscuits are a tad dry today. Certainly, madam. My apologies. As much as I would like to eat, I need to make some room first. I've spent most of my life avoiding public toilets at all cost. Alright, well, I'm off then. I wave goodbye to the kitchen staff. Miss Klein hands me a bag of goodies as a thank you for helping with dinner, and I almost break into tears. It's been so long since I had spent time with the help, but I was brought right back home for a moment. Even at the behest of my family, I'd always sneak into the kitchen to watch them prepare our meals. I found them easier to talk to than the haughty gents who frequent the parlor. The sun shines bright, yet the air is brisk with the changing of seasons. Kids are playing in the cobblestone streets, kicking around a ball that looks to be made out of fabric scraps. It's only after my eyes adjust that I realize one of those kids is actually Hero. Hero! He noticed me and smiles, his brown eyes catching the sun and churning amber for a brief moment. Morning, Gray. I thought you'd never wake up. He kicks the ball in the opposite direction and the kids follow like a flock of birds, leaving us alone to talk. I had a long day, alright? I thought for sure you would want to sleep in. Schwa. I had plenty of sleep between the anesthetic and my cot. I'll admit, I was slightly tempted, only because you had gripped me so tightly. And something poking me behind. Hey, I'm a guy, I can't help it. Really now. What, you're immune? Anyway, I'm sure Petra told you to keep an eye on me. Basically. I respect her medical knowledge and the length she's gone to treat me, but understand this. I'm under no obligation to follow her orders. Don't you want to heal up so you can get back to work? Don't be so stubborn. I'll heal just fine. But if you want to help me with a few things in the interim, I'm not opposed. Of course. So, yes? I point at the ominous outhouse buzzing with flies. Oh yes, it's horrid, but it's to be expected. How far do you think we are from a proper city? I cannot claim to be familiar with the geography of this country, but I assume longer than you'd be able to hold it. Honestly, you're better off just finding some dirt and... Oh, not you too. Wait, where are you going? To find Autry, we need wilderness supplies, right? Oh, him. Come on, he's nice. He's an imbecile, and at worst, a man of faith. I am so going to open that can of worms later, but a gurgle in my gut tells me to keep it moving. I'm going to delay using that outhouse as long as possible. Just meet me in the back at the house in an hour, okay? Alright. Okay, antlers. Look for big antlers and muscles. Oh no, that's a decoration. Kind of morbid. Where would he be anyway? Struggling to come up with an answer, I turn a corner and bump into something firm. The unyielding surface knocks me off my feet, not budging an inch. It stares down at me, grinning. Ah, good morning. Finding the town all right, lad? This guy is seriously solid. Yeah, I was just looking for you, actually. Ah, how curious. Alas, I was just on my way to take care of a few chores. Would you mind accompanying me while we talk? I guess that's okay. I nod and follow him around town for a while. He stops at a few small shops, exchanging goods in tiny bags with the merchants. Every now and then, someone will make a request for something strange. Autry always agrees, writing it down in his journal with a smile. So I guess you're a gatherer as well as a hunter. I sort of do it all. Home repairs, hunting, mending tools. His muscles slack with exhaustion for a moment. He shakes it off, flashing his signature grin at me. It keeps me busy. And I'm sure it makes you a pretty penny. Oh, heavens no. I do this all as a favor to the townsfolk, right? Thou shalt treat thy neighbor as thyself. Matthew 22:39. I see. Besides, I need to head into the forest to hunt and gather supplies anyways. It's really no trouble. Alright, last stop before I head up. We stop and I see we're back at Petra's clinic. Somehow, I didn't notice we walked in a huge circle. Audrey's kinda hot. Not gonna disagree. You work for Petra? I do now. She must have been impressed with us yesterday. She had a letter sent to my residence first thing in the morning. I wonder if this is her way of controlling the situation. Maybe she doesn't think I can keep Hero in check all by myself. Oi, Miss Petra. I'm sure Hero is cringing wherever he is right now. Within seconds, I can hear her stomping down the stairs. The door slams open. Her angry face greeting us with wet hair poking out of a towel wrapped around her head. That's Dr. Petra, whelp. Pardon, ma'am. I thought you didn't have plumbing. So you have to gather the components I requested. Yes, but I have some concerns about a few of the plants you requested. Well, make them known then. I'm not getting any younger. Or any drier, you lying bitch. Water dropwort, foxglove, and burdock. Yes. Well, ma'am, or doctor, these are all poisonous. She sighs, holding her towel steady while shaking her head. The fruit of a dropwort plant can be used to treat chronic pulmonary infections. Foxglove can be made into tincture that steadies heart arrhythmia. Burdock root is a fast-acting diuretic as well as a blood purifier. Whoa. I had no idea these seemingly random plants on the side of the road were so potentially useful. While all of these plants are indeed dangerous in their unaltered state, in a controlled amount they can be quite beneficial. But I'll remind you of this once and only once if you are to work for me. Poison is the dose, not the substance. Surely you. Glad we have an understanding. Off with you then. Slam. It seems her scolding put a damper on his mood. It can't be easy to have your worldview shattered like that, but we're not living like cavemen anymore. He's strangely quiet as I walk him to the town gate. I give him a gentle pat on the back. Thanks. You know she's right? She could have explained it nicer. She could be nicer in general. Indeed. It's no wonder she remains a spinster with that temperament. So much for either of them being nice. Well, good luck on your excursion. Aren't you coming with me? Back in those woods, after what happened yesterday? Shh, not so loudly, Possum. A few people turned their attention to us, likely hoping for a good topic to gossip about. You'll be with me. Everything is okay. Besides, I can show you a few survival skills while we're out there. Maybe you can impress the fox with tales of our adventures when we return, eh? That would be fine and dandy if Hero hadn't already decided he hated your guts. Then it's settled. Come this way, Ward. Ward? He pulls me along with him, one of his strong arms wrapped around my waist. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. We walk the familiar path towards the edge of the forest. Even in broad daylight, something still seems off. This place plays many tricks. We'll need to stay on our toes if we want to. What exactly is it? Gray? Hunger. So hungry. Hungry, hungry, hungry. Gray, what did you see? We walk together, hand in hand. It does not matter, beast or man. Look at me. That comes for all across the land. The hourglass runs out of sand. Damn it, don't make me. Death. I saw it. I died for a moment. Use force. No more. We need to go back. The trees are running towards us. Autry tries to grab me, but I run. We have to. They'll get us. Yeah. I told you, Bile, this is a horror game. Gray. Gray. I'm pushed to the ground, Autry's entire weight pressing down on me. Oh. Just gonna save it and check out this. Number 22, P Diary. September 15th. Some of my medical supplies have gone missing again. This time it was a bottle of disinfectant and a box of cotton swabs. No small change given how hard it is to get anything delivered out here. I don't want to suspect the staff, and I doubt they're sipping my aqua vitae over the cooking sherry in the kitchen, so that just leaves... No, he wouldn't. We've been through too much. P. D. Lane. So, it's Petra. Wait. His route got updated? When? Like months ago, psycho? We're likely gonna start day 2 now, after this whole scene. I'm pushed to the ground, Autry's entire weight pressing down on me. The scent of damp earth invades my nostrils. He grunts, pinning my arms in place as I squirm. No. No. Calm down, you fool. They're coming. Don't you see them? Underneath us. It's just an illusion. It can't hurt you. How can he not feel it? How can he not feel it? Giant roots snake and coil through the dirt towards us, ready to pull us in. He presses down harder, wrapping his arms around me and resting his chin against the back of my neck. Just fight it. Don't move. Huh? Suddenly, everything goes dark as he pulls some fabric over my eyes, pulling it back tightly in a quick knot. What are you? Shh. Focus on your breathing. I focus on what you can feel, not what you can see. I open my eyes and stare into the void. Only tiny traces of light leak in. I never heard of anything, Goose. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't think you would want to know. Sorry. My breathing slows. I imagine myself floating through the darkness, cradled in its cold, gentle embrace. That's it, slowly. Next, I inhale deeply, taking in the scent of the world around me. The strong smell of the soil, Autry's breath against my neck, and the distant hint of petrichor in the atmosphere. As my body relaxes, so too does his grip. My arms go slack and he sets up, gently rubbing my shoulders. I knew you could do it, friend. Have your wits returned to you, then? I think so. You're kind of heavy. Forgive me. He rolls off of me and jumps to his feet, dusting off his pants. Can you stand? I nod, and he gives me a hand, unsure of my surroundings without the use of my eyes. What was that? He sighs, scratching his chin. Well, I wanted to explain it yesterday, but the little one didn't seem receptive to this sort of thing. This thing being magic. Yeah, I can't blame you. I've only been interested in Ken's route, even though I've played them all. Well, it's alright. We're probably going to do Ken or Gabriel's route after this one's, depending on how people feel, or what people vote for. No, Grandma explained magic to me many times. This is different. What I just felt was nothing short of a nightmare. You're quiet. Sorry, just thinking. No worries. 'Tis quite the quandary. I don't want to assume, but do you fancy yourself a modern gentleman? A man of science and reason? Half and half. There are too many unexplainable things out there. He chuckles, resting an elbow on my shoulder. Well, leave that remaining half of reason behind when we walk in these woods. They'll do you no good. I don't understand. He sighs, tapping his foot. This is no ordinary forest. The locals refer it to as the Der Marchenwald. Even with my sudden boot of biolinguism, that term takes a few seconds to process. A fairy forest? Yes, a place ruled by neither beast nor man. We are merely guests here, and thus the Fae make the final decision on who is allowed within their domain. I've heard some tall tales, but this is outlandish, even for him. Listen to the boy. He speaks no lies. Seriously? Do not underestimate the power of the unknown. It would be quite caviar for one to presume while visiting foreign lands. I guess. Also, who are you? Gray? I blink away, whatever that was, and churn towards his voice. Sorry. So, fairies. Indeed. Just out in the open for everyone to see. Wouldn't more people know about this? You seem to misunderstand. Let me explain. He lightly tugs on my blindfold, careful not to pull it off. The influence of the Fae affects everyone differently. Some simply wander off the path, losing their way for a little while. Others begin to see things that really aren't there. Feel things. I rub my neck. The feeling of those sharpened roots poking against them still feel vivid. And some, like Hero, are unaffected altogether. Why would he be immune? I think he shrugs. He then remembers I can't see. Oh, well, there's no real rhyme or reason. The Fae don't operate on reason like you and I. I like to think they judge us on a case-by-case basis, and some get a lighter treatment than others. You seem to be more affected than most, however. Great, so I'm just unlucky. No surprises there. Who knows? But in any case, I find the blindfold helps mitigate some of the stronger visions. Yeah, but... Quite caviar. It would be quite fish eggs. I'm screaming. It was caviar. Wait, did I pronounce it wrong? Let's see. Cavler? Bio, I'm confused. How do you pronounce it? Is it Cavler? Caviar. I try and take a step, almost trip over my own feet. How do you get anything done like this? He belts out a laugh, slapping me on the back and nearly sending me tumbling over. Cavalier. 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 Thank you, Bio. Cavalier. Okay, got it. It took some time, but sight isn't the strongest scent for us. Ungulates. Ungulates. Really? Man has grown too reliant on sight. There are many other ways to navigate the world. He boops my noise, making me sneeze. This being the main tool we use. My sense of smell is decent, yeah, but you can't use it to tell if there's a cliff in front of you. Oh? Well, that is true, but between you and me... He leans in, his mustache tickling my ears. I find wearing clothes interferes with that skill significantly too. You don't say. He did say he often walked around the woods nude. I suppose there's some logic to that, primitive as it is. Thank you, Bio. Just as your cute little whiskers are tactile, so is every patch of fur on your body. You'd be surprised how much information one can gather when not marred by heavy fabric. Are you sure you're not just a nudist? Well, I won't deny there's an appeal to it. It does sound kind of freeing. Something else is on my mind though. So, if you know this place is dangerous, why continue to hunt here? I'm sure you could have found another village close to another forest. Why put yourself in danger? Because it's fun. Don't you have a sense of adventure, Gray? I come here willingly. Remove one of my senses and, well, whatever happens, happens. Like getting tied up and needing help. 'Tis the will of God, I trust in His plan, and thus nothing can hurt me. Is there any greater source of strength than faith, pure and simple? I can't say it's done me much good, but I'm happy it's working for you. Ever since my childhood, I felt drawn to places like this. If I had my way, I'd purchase some land and live out here, full time. That sounds kind of... Oh. Gray? My stomach grumbles and I suddenly remember my original mission. So, while we're on the topic of survival, how does one relieve himself? I lift up my blindfold and see him smirking, twirling a spade between his fingers. I think you know the answer, Possum. Fuck. Fine, start digging. And thus, we begin Chapter 2. We'll see how much of it we can get done tonight. I'm only about almost an hour in, but that's alright. So it's come to this, Gray? Whoa. You used to live the high life. People waited on you, hand and foot. Threw all that away to prove a point. Thought slumming it with your friends would be noble. Sure, the days were long and the returns were dreadful. But you stuck it out to maintain what little amenities you could afford. And now I'm shitting in a hole, in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, Germany. At least Autry understood and left me to do my business in peace. He isn't completely feral, I guess. God, this is so uncomfortable. Is this really how our ancestors did things? I bet Virgil's laughing his ass off somewhere right now. Oi, now isn't this an unusual predicament? What the? Oh, it's him again. What do you want, Todd? I'm kind of in the middle of something. The Todd. Okay. Have a good lurk, Psycho. And is that any way to greet an old friend? And after everything I did for ya. The new rough section of my tongue rubs against the roof of my mouth and I shudder. Just tell me what you want. I can't go and talk at the same time. He cackles, yipping like a wild fox. Well, you got my message, so I'm just here to give you a warning. Now a warning? If a fly ever tries to talk to ye, don't listen to what it has to say. Okay. Did that gift of his also give me the power to talk to tiny insects? What a queer warning. That's all. I'll leave you to your business. Thanks. With a soft breeze, he's gone. Wonder why he doesn't show his face. Even without seeing him, he has a vulpine aura. Could he be involved with Virgil? Everything he's done so far seems to be for my benefit, but I'm not that trusting. Not after all the burning. Phew. Feeling a few pounds lighter, I check to see the materials Autry left me. The appeal of the wilderness is dwindling by the second, and this toilet tissue, if I can even call it that, isn't helping. I'm pretty sure these are just dried out plant fibers. They're scratchy to the touch, like hemp. No way in hell that's touching my hole. I may be reckless back there, but this is cruel and unusual. Hey, Autry. Hello? Fuck, now what? I can't trek through the forest with a... Well, I just can't. Something moves quickly into view, holding what looks like toilet tissue? What the? Hero? Wait, don't look at me. He rolls his eyes, seemingly unfazed. Don't make this weirder than it already is. Sorry. Anyway, I looked all over town to try and give this to you, so you better use it. How did you even find me out here? And does Petra know you left town? He growls under his breath. Autry isn't the only one who has survival skills, remember? Plus, I can hear you screaming from town. I'm sorry for worrying you. Seriously though, thank you for the tissue. Thank you for the tissue. You're my hero. Please don't finish that sentence. How did you even... He jams the roll onto a low-hanging branch and walks away before I can even properly thank him. That's probably for the best, given my current predicament. Let me just finish up here and I'll be right as rain. Ow. This isn't much better than what Autry gave me. I guess this is the best they can afford. Proper possum pampering aside, I finish up and fill the hole with dirt, forever sealing away my shameful deed. Oof. Hey, hero, I'm done now. I walk out of the bush, still not feeling quite as secure back there as I'd like. Over here. I follow his voice and step through some tall grass, seeing the fennec sitting on a log across from Autry, who's furiously rubbing a stick against a plank of wood on the ground. Ah, I see you found each other. Yes, unfortunately. He's been trying to show me how to start a fire for about 5 minutes now. Ah, speaking thy native tongue again. How mysterious. Come on, let's all use German so we can understand each other. Hero already can make fire. Ah, impressive. He's actually quite the survivalist. Right, Hero? Autry's ears perk up, and he looks expectantly towards the tiny fox. Hero just scowls, eyes to the ground, and hints of red poking through the fur on his cheeks. Not big deal. Come now, lad. I can tell there's more to the story. Ugh. Come on. I'd love to hear about your time in... No. Not now. He briefly mutters something in Japanese. Not in front of him. I'm sorry if I overstepped. It's just rare to meet someone I have so much in common with. Hero's eye twitches. What's his deal? I get that they disagree on some fundamentals, but Autry went out of his way to help him yesterday. Considering how unfriendly Petra was, I'd figured he'd be open to making new friends, besides me. I feel an uncomfy itch down below and figure this is as good a time as any to change the subject. Hey, Autry. He stops staring at space and smiles at me. Yes? I, feel like I need to wash up a little bit better after that. Do you have any water on you? He laughs and my face goes flush. Talking about this stuff is embarrassing enough. I understand. After I do my business, I usually wash up in the river nearby here. Look. He reaches into one of his many leather pouches and produces a misshapen yellow square. I make my own soap, made from sheep fat, works like a charm. Soap? I just rub myself with sand before We turn to him and he looks away again, arms crossed. I wonder if Twinkles does the same thing. I'm down to take a quick dip if it means I can avoid those public showers back at the village. Hero shrugs in vague affirmation. Splendid. Let's all take a bath together then. Eh? What? You can't be serious. Come on, it could be fun. I haven't been skinny dipping since I was a teen. I can't deny feeling some excitement from the idea. Plus, I've already seen Autry naked, so it's only fair. Excuse me? Long story. Not really, but I don't want to admit I spent a considerable amount of time talking to a nude elk instead of looking for him. I'll be keeping my blindfold on, but I appreciate your chivalry. Haha. But... His shoulders slump in defeat. I motion for Autry to wait and walk over to him, leaning down to whisper. Hey, what's wrong? Just tell me. Whatever it is, I'll explain it to him. I don't want this. I pull back, not expecting an angry reaction. I just don't want all this attention on me. And I don't want to stop you from doing what you clearly want to do. Hero, please don't make a fuss over me. I'll just stay back and watch your stuff. Are you sure you're alright with that? Be right back. And I am back. Just had to go up and get some water. He pushes away from me, rolling his eyes. Yes, someone has to make sure your clothes don't blow away in the wind, right? I feign a smile. I wish I knew why Autry made him so uncomfortable, but now is not the time. Alright, thank you. I hear Autry doing his signature cough and we look back, waiting to hear his interjection. You know, I remember reading that group bathing is quite popular in the East. He's not interested. Don't push it, okay? He can read? Alrighty then. Come now, it's only a few minutes walk. Before we leave, he gestures to his blindfold and I reluctantly put mine on. The last thing I see is Hero shaking his head in disappointment. He grabs my hand, guiding my fledgling feet through this new world of smells and sounds. Part of me wants to find out what's bothering Hero, but now's not the time. After a few twists and churns, I feel us reach the bottom of a slope, and he taps my shoulders. We're here. Already? I listen closely and hear a gentle current only a few feet away. The air is brisk, but it's sunny enough that a dip in the river would still feel refreshing. I hear a thump next to me and assume Autry is already stripping. Okay. Well, here goes nothing. It's a little awkward to undress without being able to see, so I bite the bullet and take off my blindfold. Yep, he's naked again. Well, here goes nothing. After the first time, this feels oddly normal. With a sudden burst of courage, I quickly throw everything off. Hey, buddy. Hi. His expression is complex, and I can't tell if his smile is born from nervousness or amusement. You look good. Aw, thanks. Really? You? Goodness. You seem to have been hiding quite the physique under those unassuming garments. I see him peeking out from under his blindfold and rub my arm. Not sure what to say. What happened to chivalry? Chivalry. Thanks. That's rich coming from you, though. Well, I am quite the active fellow. Once again, just stating that this is a 18 plus game. So if any of that does make you uncomfortable, you are more than allowed to leave. Obviously. He sniffs under his pits, seeming both disgusted and impressed. A little too active. I'm long overdue for some washing up. I check my own and nod in agreement. Oh well, comes with the territory, I suppose. To be honest, I get used to my own smell, so I forget to make myself presentable around others. Not that I usually have guests out here. Nah, I get it. When you're by yourself for days at a time, things just pile up. They do. He sniffs the air, covering his nose to protect himself from our combined stink. We shrug. So we stink after all. It's to be expected. What, more guy stuff? Indeed. I haven't been in the company of women in ages, thus my less than humble state of being. I don't know. I think there's a rugged charm to it. I take another whiff under my arms, appreciating the complex, familiar aroma. Mind if I get a hit? I'm curious how we'll compare. Go ahead. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Hero looks at us in horror. You guys are disgusting. Autry leans in, only lingering for a moment before admitting defeat. Oof, that packs a punch, but I could see myself getting used to it. I'd ask to check yours, but I can smell them just fine from here, among other things. I see beads of sweat gleaming across his crotch and dripping down his sack. Hero's produced a claw from his pocket and is covering his nose. We both chuckle and apologize. Sorry, I guess you guys are a little more reserved when you bathe together. You guys. Yeah, in Japan. I wouldn't know. I'm used to being alone in such situations. Well, yeah, but surely you've had guy talk. Surely you've had guy talk with your friends before, right? He just shrugs and sits down, watching the grass blow in the breeze. I notice he hasn't made direct eye contact with me for a while now. Right? He sighs and switches to German, speaking in a monotone voice. Are you not going to bathing? Petra still needs us for errand. Quite astute. All right, let's get to it. I nod and turn away, giving Hero one last concerned glance. The corners of his mouth rise, but not in a smile. Autry walks straight in, the water only reaching his waist at his height. I cautiously dip a toe, expecting an icy bath. To my surprise, it's almost room temperature. This clearing gets plenty of sunlight, so the water is quite agreeable. Here I go. I belly flop, splashing water everywhere. I hear Hero chitter behind us, and Autry giggles. Pulling on my tail to flip me right side up. After taking a few minutes to evenly soak my fur, Autry breaks off a tiny chunk of his homemade soap and hands it to me. It's not perfumed in the slightest and has an acrid, smoky smell to it, but it lathers up just like regular soap. I finally tend to the bits that need the most attention and feel civil again. The call of the wild is no match for a proper wash. Autry's thicker fur seems to require a more intensive wash, and he opts to focus on the parts that need help the most. I thought I'd be repulsed at watching someone scrub down there, but it feels oddly normal. Almost like putting on airs about this sort of thing was the unnatural way to act. At the end of the day, everyone goes through the same ritual. There's no reason to be shy about it. Hey, need any help washing your back? Oh, thank you. He eagerly turns away from me, standing on his knees. His ass rises out of the water, dripping wet and reflecting the sun for a brief moment before reabsorbed by his fur. I take what's left of my nub of soap and start making soapy circles around his broad back. This is harder than I thought. Your muscles are like marble. He chuckles, flexing to demonstrate that they can intend to get denser. It makes it quite hard to reach behind me, so I appreciate your offer. Can I return the favor? Sorry, but I'll have to turn that down. I grab his hand and guide it to my lower back, feeling his hard-tipped fingers run over my scars. An injury. I see Hero peek over, having been staring off into space until now. Yeah, I have to be gentle, or it might flare up again. I see. You certainly have a gentle touch, though I think that area is plenty clean by now. Huh? I suddenly realized I'd been idly washing between his cheeks and pulled back, laughing awkwardly. Sorry. I appreciate your dedication. Let's be honest though, that area probably needed extra attention. I stick my tongue out playfully and slap him on the ass. Why, you? He swats at the water next to him, splashing me. Hey. I whip my tail around and send a clean arc of water his way, getting even his antlers wet. Oh, this means war, possum. On guard. Poor Hero. Okay, thank God. That turned out to be a lot more innocent than I thought it was going to be. Oh well. That's an ass. Oh. Okay. Oh no. That's a fly. Hero stands up, brushing dirt off his trousers. Hey, hold up. Hey, you good? He smiles weakly and waves at us. I need to be alone for now. Be back later. Oh, okay. Hero, fine. Is nature calling? I could show you my favorite tree too. Hero's eyes briefly flash yellow with rage before he shakes it off, turning to head back into the woods. I punch Autry in the shoulder and he looks glum, sinking back into the water. Was it something I said? I don't know. Something's been bothering him all day. But that probably wasn't the best way to break the ice. It's not you. Well, if it is you, it's not your fault. I think there's just some communication issues. We haven't had a moment to really clear the air. I assumed a manly fellow such as Hero wouldn't lay his feelings down on the table, so I merely wanted to keep the mood upbeat. That made things awkward between you two. I deeply apologize. At the end of the day, I want all of us to get along. I nod. Maybe his culture is just more reserved. He really didn't like us talking about body odor. Then again, he has that unique odor of his own. It could be a sensitive subject. Do you think I should go check on him? Did he say he wanted space? He did say he wanted space, but we often say the opposite of what we're really thinking. It's up to you. However, I wouldn't mind spending more time with you. What should I do? Now, to anyone that's been watching, if you want to post down, or comment your choice, you may do so for the following minute. Follow Hero. Yeah. I think following Hero might be the best decision. I'll just give it a little bit more time to see if anyone else wants to chime in. In the meantime, I will drink some more water. Alrighty. I think, yeah, we're gonna follow Hero. No, something's not right. I'm going to go check on him. Autry sighs and nods, patting me on the back. Alright then, I'll keep watch over our belongings. And well, if I am the reason he's upset, please tell him I'm sorry. Right, be back soon. I step out of the river and try to shake off as much water as I can. I'll need to air dry if I don't want to catch a cold, which is fine. I don't mind walking around naked anymore. Whatever embarrassment I felt before is gone now. Now that I've gotten used to the idea, it feels right. A few stray branches and twigs swat at my exposed body as I walk through the foliage, following the path we took earlier. He couldn't have gone too far. I really hope he's okay. After long enough, I catch wind of that familiar scent I'd gotten used to it before, but after being around Autry, it's apparent now how distinct Hero's smell is. Hey Hero, you around, buddy? I hear a rustle to my left and spot his bushy tail. There you are. Pushing through the brush, I see him sitting on a log with his head in his hands. Oh. Hey. I wanted to check on you. He quickly glances downward before meeting my eyes. Really? Dressed like that? I shrug. No point in being modest anymore. You've already seen it. Yeah, I have. God, this is awkward. I can go dressed if you... No. I said I didn't want special treatment, right? This is just what guys do. He says that last part with a skeptical tone. Well, yeah, it's unavoidable in the long run. You know? Is there something on your mind? My first instinct is to sit with him and give him a hug, but that feels like a bad idea. I just stand there and wait, letting him come up with what to say next. The more time that passes, the weirder I feel about being the only naked one. Look, I think I'm dry now. I'll just go get dressed and we can... Gray? Yes? He hops off the log and walks up to me, so close his whiskers brush against my belly. It's fine. You look great. I like looking at you. A chill goes up my spine as he pressed his clothed torso against mine. What? Oh. You trust me, right? That's why you feel so comfortable. Of course I do. I trust Autry too. He's a nice guy. He sighs, lowering his head. I know he is. That's why it's so frustrating. What is? Tell me what's bothering you. He steps back, holding his arms close to his chest. Can you come with me for a second? I want to show you something. A secret place. I nod, willing to do anything to get an answer out of him. Okay, it's this way. And bring the blindfold. Huh? Alright. Without Autry to guide me, I can't exactly use it, but I go get it anyway. He grabs my hand and we walk onto a new path, walking up a few hills and past other sections of the river. I'd already lost track of where we came from. Hero seems confident, having clearly navigated this area many times before. It's just past this clearing. Come on. Okay. I hear the faint sounds of trickling water, and we push through the trees to find an unexpected sight. At first, I think it's a tiny waterfall, until I see steam pouring out of the earth, wafting towards us with a pleasant wet kiss. No way. There are natural hot springs out here? He shushes me, hiding a smirk behind his finger. Indeed, I was quite surprised when I first came across them. I thought such luxuries were a staple of my homeland, but apparently there are many all across the world. While the river was nice, nothing beats a soothing hot bath, and I eagerly stepped towards the rocky edge. Wait. He fidgets a bit before replying. Let me go first, okay? All right. But I want you to do something for me first. Sure, anything. Put on the blindfold until I tell you it's okay to take it off. Is this going to turn into something kinky? Please? Okay, for you. He breathes a sigh of relief, and I tie the fabric around my eyes, returning to the world of darkness. All right. All blindfolded up. Thank you. I'll be quick. I hear the rustle of clothes hitting the floor next to me, along with the metal jingle of buckles and tools. You know, I could have just turned around. Shh. I can't believe you wouldn't trust me not to peek. Shh. You wound me, Hiro-san. His gloves hit the ground with a slap and he sloshes through the water without a hint of grace. There. You can take it off now. Sheesh. Giggling like a buffoon, I free my eyes. The rest of my fur had already started to gather condensation, leaving a dry ring around my face. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust, but I see Hiro waist deep in the water with his bandages off. Only going for a quick dip then? I can't get the stitches wet yet. Besides, there's enough steam to wash my upper body. Can I get in now? He nods, holding his chest again. I slowly wade over to him, gliding through the warm water with ease. The heat is stronger in certain areas, with some rocks even being too hot to step on. Either way, my muscles are instantly soothed and I get on my knees so I can warm everything below the neck. It's been too long. Hiro chuckles nervously as I drift over to him, my head protruding like a shark's fin circling my prey. Thanks for showing me this. I can see why you'd keep it a secret. You know, not even Petra knows about this place. Really? I don't know how safe that is given what happened yesterday. Yes, but I brought you, see? His eyes are darting every which way, refusing to stay focused on me. Sorry. He starts shaking, holding his tail against his body to make a barrier between us. Hiro. I approach him slowly. It was just hard to find a way to... I put my hands on his shoulders. There's no reason you should even believe me, but... Hiro. He goes quiet. What was your surgery really for? I pull him closer to me. His arms go limp, falling to his side as he presses against my chest. Gray. Hiro. I know. Even back in the golden place, I knew something was different about you. You did? I tussle his head fur gently. I didn't really know how to explain it because I thought it was impossible. You know why? No, why? Because you're so obviously a man. He chokes up. I can feel him holding it back. So regardless of whatever led you here, I want you to trust me. Gray. I'm sorry, I didn't put it together faster. He continues to sob in my arms, and I hold him gently, not wanting to soak his stitches. It's okay. Shh. Thank you. I give him the time he needs. He tries to speak a few times, but chokes on his tears. Eventually, he finds his strength and frees himself from my grasp, backing a few inches away. His eyes are burning with courage. I was born a woman. The surgery was to remove my breast tissue. Petra is working to change my sex. He takes a deep breath, and I can tell it took all of his energy to finally say it out loud. And I want to be seen as the man that I really am. I smile, tears falling down my cheeks. I see you, hero. His smile drops, mouth agape before he starts to cry again. I'd never seen him any other way. It's so clear to me that he's as man as me and Autry. But this world isn't kind. He had to fight for it. He went so far as to alter his body. This is no flight of fancy. So, what will you do now? I mean, he lowers his defensive position, finally facing his exposed body towards me. How do you really feel about me? How do I feel? I mean, you like other men, right? What could I even offer you? Hero. That's why seeing you and Autry earlier, being so open about it, almost flaunting it. And when you're both so well endowed. Hey now. He's so vulnerable right now. I need to tell him how I feel. Offer intimacy, offer companionship. I believe companionship would probably be best in this scenario. Though, it's kind of saying that there's a difference between the two. I think for now we'll just choose companionship. I beckon for him to come back to me, arms wide open. None of that matters. All I care about is being a good friend to you. He looks away, unconvinced. You were very brave to tell me, hero. I feel honored. But I want you to know that doesn't change the way I already felt about you. Are you sure? Positive. I don't think I could have liked you any more than I already do. You goofball. He treads over to me, wrapping his arms around me, half crying and half giggling. I knew I could trust you. Hey, your stitches. Jeez, this guy. Yeah, me too, Bio. I pat him on the head. This is the way things should be. With a body like this, I knew I had a feeling you wouldn't be. Anyway, I'm happy we can at least be friends. Okay. I hold his shoulders tight, looking him dead in the eyes. Hold up. That is absolutely not the reason. There's nothing about you I dislike. Your body is perfect. But you're more than your body. But you're more than just your body. You're a hero. And you're the one I swore to protect when I made that choice. Nothing will change that. Gray. He wipes away a final tear and squeezes me tight. You're exactly who I was hoping for. Then stay with me. He nods into my chest. Oof. I think the worst of it has passed. With a stretch, he smiles back at me, looking like his usual happy self. Come now, let's not spoil our bath, and let's enjoy ourselves. Right. No, go back, I want intimate. We could do that. Let's see. I'll just save right there. I wonder how much it really changes depending on it. Okay. Offer intimacy. Hero, you're wrong about something. Huh? I move close to him again, rising out of the water so everything is on display. I don't only like men. Oh, I didn't mean to presume. I'm open to loving anyone and everyone. I trace a long hand along the curves of his hips and he shivers. And if you have what I think you have, I know what to do with it. His face goes red, his ears twitching wildly. Gray, honestly, you have no tact. I left my tack at home. He sighs and shrugs, walking over to the edge of the pool. I should have figured after yesterday. And who wouldn't want to see such a curiosity, right? It's not like that. I'm used to it. Stop saying things like that. I want to do it because it's you, hero. And, well, even before I knew I wanted a piece of you. He smiles, shaking his head at me, at my lousy flirting. If you say so, possum. But for now, at least, I don't want to be penetrated. Oh, that's fine. Eh, you sure? That's all men ever seem to want. I float over and rest my head on his knees. His legs close tight. I'm more into pleasing others than myself. My ex-girlfriend used to call me a service animal. So I want you to tell me what to do. If you want to do anything, that is. I shoot him a smile, hoping my sincerity convinces him. He sighs, rubbing the back of his head. Well, if it had to be somebody, you would be my first pick. I move my head, and he slowly spreads his legs, removing any lingering doubt I had about his earlier statement. Okay, even though that is practically censored, I'm just gonna do this just cause I'm gonna post this on YouTube later. Okay. I'm just going to skip through all of this. Don't worry, none of this is going to have any effect on the story. Okay, that finishes that. Yes, yeah, bio. Maybe just a little sorry, but I knew what we were getting into when I chose this choice. Holy shit. That was incredible. I fall backwards into the water, pretending to float like a corpse. I haven't felt that good in ages. You're fantastic, Gray. I give him a weak thumbs up. Do Do you want me to return the favor, or... I shake my head, pointing at my already... Oh. Really? Just from that? Hero, I just fulfilled a fantasy I didn't even know I had. I could do without judgment. He chuckles cruelly, pretending to fan himself from high up on his rocky perch. Oh well, that makes two of us. I never chained that many orgasms together in one session before. It was quite a rush. What? You didn't know? Women, or people like me, can have multiple orgasms in a row. I thought you said you had a girlfriend. I feel hot shame wash over me. Well, guys like me can usually only muster up one a day. Huh. And here I was jealous of you lot. Yeah, just promise me we can do that again, and I'll try not to cry about my inferior amount of orgasms. Deal. As long as we can spend plenty of time together, too. I don't think that was ever outside of the question. Or out of the question. Come on. Let's wash up. He hops back in, more confident than before. With no soap on hand, he shows me how to use silt to scrub away dirt and grime. It works surprisingly well, and I recall hearing similar methods used by the native tribes back home. With that last hurdle finally crossed, we relax and let the warm waters wash over us. I feel so close to him now, as if we'd known each other for years. So, you haven't told anyone else, besides me and Petra, I mean. There was one person back home who knew, but that's a story for another day. I nod. Talking about his past must be painful given who he is today. Only if you feel like sharing it. I'm willing to move at whatever pace you're comfortable with. Thanks. Though while we're on the topic, he gestures to his private parts. I'm sure you noticed the strength of the pheromones I produce. Yeah, sorry about that. I already forgave you. Foxes, as you know, have an abundance of complex sexual pheromones, maybe the most of any living species. Thus, it's very difficult to hide one's personal information when around creatures who pick up on our scent. I nod, recalling the sensation I got from being around Jean when he was horny, which was often. And to make matters worse, the pheromones of a vixen are twice as potent. Oh no. He nods. No matter how well I blend in, chemically speaking, most males will recognize me as female, and that often leads to... He grips his arm. Well, let's just say there have been some close calls. I won't let that happen. I believe you. It wasn't a big issue when I was only among other foxes in my village, but here, he points to an erection I didn't even notice I had. It's as powerful as the scent of blood to a hungry beast. I've tried many methods to lessen it, even going as far to scrub my intimate areas with rubbing alcohol. What? He winces at my sudden outburst. It stung, but what else could I do? Nobody would accept me if the truth got out. I'm just lucky Fritz set me up with Zeppelin. The smell of machinery covers it up quite well. I don't like the idea of him harming himself just to blend in, but we both know the dangers men pose, especially men with power. We'll find a better solution. Promise. Thanks, Gray. On that note, I think it's time we return to that big lug and resume our foraging. Oh shit, how long has it been? Roughly an hour maybe? Fuck, I hope he's doing alright. I'm pretty sure I heard him pleasuring himself not long after we left. Oh. Damn, his hearing is scary. Anyway, let's get on with it. We exit the springs and I shake off as much water as I can. Hero finds a patch of sandy dirt and gives himself a quick dusting, observing most of the excess moisture easily. That's a handy trick. Think it'll work on me? Sorry, it's a wire brush fur thing. Yours is too absorbent. Aw. Disappointed in my lackluster fur, we head back to the river. Autry is exactly where we left him, though he looks rather pleased with himself. Hey. So you finally returned. Sorry for taking so long. Yes, sorry. You're quite alright. I'd rather enjoy my own company. And it's a beautiful day. He rises out of the water, his sculpted white body glistening in the sunlight. I bump him with an elbow and he stops looking at Atree's junk. Oh. Hero want to apologize. He bows, taking Autry by surprise. Hero not angry at you. You've been very nice. Autry scotches his chin, bemused. I appreciate it, little one. Hopefully next time we can all bathe together. Ha ha, of course. Come on, let's get dressed and start looking for those ingredients. Righto? Getting dressed, my shirt feels crisp and cool on my freshly washed body. Autry takes a bit longer, his boots and tights having a myriad of intricate straps and buckles that slow down the process. I didn't even know why he bothers wearing clothes at this point. If he wants to feel the fantasy, let him. You just like watching him struggle to squeeze into those leggings. Yep. It is quite entertaining. We nod in unison, finding solidary in this new spectator sport. Goodness, you two like to all oogle. Am I a mere piece of meat to you? Meat good, important for diet. We're growing boys. He sighs and clips the last of his manny belts close, bringing our little peep show to a close. Now that's out of the way, let's begin searching for those elusive ingredients. I believe it was foxglove, water dropwort, and burdock. Saying the names out loud, I have no clue what any of those look like. Foxglove usually grows by foot of hill. It prefers shade. He points eastward to a ridge in the near distance. I check there. The fox knows where to find foxglove. How fortuitous. Come now, Archie. He just started to like you. I never said I was a comedian. Regardless, there's likely some of that dropwort growing in the marsh where that river terminates, so I will search there. That just leaves the burdock. Any idea where I can find that? Or, what it might look like? Hero sighs, reaching into his tool belt to produce a small leather-bound journal. He undoes the latch and flips through its pages, each section marked with a colored tab. Here, look. The page shows a purple flower with intimidating spines poking out of its center. If it were anyone else, I'd accuse them of making up an imaginary plant. It grew in on roadside in churned soil, probably closer to hiking path. Alright. I'm nervous about splitting up given the supposed meddling fairies who have decided to make me their target. Without Autry to guide me, wearing that blindfold is a death sentence. He shoots me a confident smile. Crap. It must be written all over my face. Worry not, Gray. Remember what I showed you before, and you should be able to overcome anything. I'll explain later. Well, I'll try to explain. But thanks, Autry. I'll do my best. We meet back here at 30 minute. If trouble, whistle. Alright, I'm off then. He heads back to the river and I look at Hero. He nods, sliding his goggles over his eyes and gives me a quick hug before jogging off. Alright, this should be easy. We're just looking for a little flower, right? Hero said that the hill was towards the east, So the way back to the trail should be south, I think. I probably should have asked before everyone left. Whatever, I can find. I can't keep relying on them for everything. The section of the forest is full of chaotic growth, making it hard to find any semblance of a walking path. Come on, Gray. We just pick a direction and stick with it. Without that notion in mind, the seemingly random shapes surrounding me start to shift into recognizable paths. Branches twist and bend into labyrinthine walls. Leaves lines line the edges of the path like a sidewalk to a street. Before I know it, I'm back to the trail that leads me to the village. I did it. Okay, time to sniff out some poisonous posies. Hero said churn soil, so I should probably look closer to man-made structures. I can't recall seeing any of those out here aside from that creepy hut. Yeah, no. I definitely don't want to go back there by myself. Oops. Maybe the village gates? No, if it grew that close by, I doubt Petra would bother sending us to fetch it. I'll have to go further south. I can actually enjoy the walk now that there's a level path. It's hard to believe that these are the same woods that nearly killed us yesterday. Audrey's beliefs aside, could something else be at play? Mere hallucinations can't be that vivid. The Todd always makes himself known, so I can't blame everything on him. And Virgil's been awful quiet since he dropped me here. Is he just watching to see how I'll react? Who would find entertainment in something so banal? Maybe these woods are full of noxious gas and the locals pin the blame on fairies. But that doesn't explain why Hero was unaffected. Ugh, speculating is pointless. Just focus on finding the little flowers. Just remember, the flower. Huh? What's that up ahead? I rub my eyes to make sure they aren't playing tricks on me. An entire row of burdock is neatly planted next to other brightly colored plants on either side of the path. Getting closer, I can see tiny wooden posts stuck in the dirt. They have dates carved into them, along with other strange symbols. Someone's personal garden? All the way out here. There's no gate or anything guarding these from intruders, not to mention they all seem to be wild flowers. I don't think whoever left this here would mind if I took a few, when there's so many. For all they know, it could be some wild animals doing. I crouched down and reached towards my prize, careful to avoid the spines when... What the... Hey! Before I can even turn around, a shot rings out, disturbing the tranquility of the forest.